Hi everyone, welcome back to Disrupt Your Norm. My name is Naomi Dunn. I am an inner work coach, and this is Disrupt Your Norm, where I help you disrupt your current norm to help bring you to a better norm. Today I'm talking about how to deal with extreme indecisiveness. If you struggle with this, I know firsthand how crippling this can truly be. I know firsthand how much anxiety you can get from even the tiniest of decisions that you have to make, from the time that you should charge your phone in the day to what you should eat for breakfast. I know how painful it can be if you struggle with this level of indecisiveness, and maybe you don't struggle to that extreme like I used to. Those are two examples of things that would actually give me a lot of anxiety in the past, due to how indecisive I was, the time I should charge my phone and what I should eat for breakfast. I'm being serious when I say that. So, like I said, if you don't struggle to that extent, but you struggle with indecisiveness, you know it's hard and it can take away so much time in your day because you spend so much time analyzing what you should be doing, and you have this fear in the back of your mind or in the front that tells you you have to make the right decision. And that's difficult. So let me tell you today how I improved a lot with my indecisiveness. Now, this was a trait that I think I was born with. For as long as I can remember, I was extremely indecisive. And it wasn't until I learned a little bit more about the intuition that everything changed for me. Now, am I going to sit here and say that I'm never indecisive? No, there are periods where there's certain things that will trigger the indecisiveness. Like right now, I'm traveling through Italy, and there are so many means of transportation and so many hours of the day that you can get your trains and your buses and your ferries to the other islands. And for some reason, that really brings up my indecisiveness, is the time of day I should get transportation. That's been my struggle recently. But with my everyday things, with the meals I eat in the day, with the times I decide to get work done or whatever it may be, it is not as bad as it used to be. It is so much better. But there are moments that it comes up. And it's kind of like when you go on this little journey of becoming more decisive, I don't want you to have the expectation that you are going to be 100% decisive all of the time. If this is a trait you have struggled with your whole life, it's going to go up and down. There's going to be, what's the term, ebbs and flows. But the advice I'm going to give you today, and what I'm going to teach you about your intuition, is going to help you so much. And please don't leave just because you heard the word intuition, or maybe you think it's, I don't know. Do people think intuition is woo-woo? No, I don't. Hardly people think that. And if you do, please open your mind a little bit. If people think, I don't have access to my intuition, it's too hard to hear it, maybe people think it's not true or whatever it is, just keep listening, okay? Just keep listening. So, your intuition, I have made a video in depth of this, but let me give you the rundown as to why accessing and becoming a friend to your intuition is the key. I promise you it's the key. Coming from someone who was so extremely indecisive. I was indecisive to the point where a tiny decision, like what hour of the day I should do something, okay, if I'm making the decision on that, or the meal that I should eat, or whatever it is, when I had to make a decision like this, I would exert so much energy from how much I analyzed and how much I was overthinking about the decision that I would be so fatigued I could do nothing the rest of the day. Okay, that was the level. I think you get the point of how indecisive I was. Alright, you're probably like, get into it, Naomi. Give us the answer. So I just say that to bring you hope, okay? I say it to bring you hope. At whatever level you're at, you need to understand that the key is through accessing your intuition and through accessing what's already there and allowing it to come through for you. The thing with the intuition, before I tell you how to become more clear on how to hear it, the thing with the intuition is you may think, okay, my intuition can tell me the right person to date. My intuition can tell me if this job is good or bad. Yes, it 100% can. My intuition can tell me if I should or shouldn't make this big decision. Absolutely. But let's expand the horizon a little bit. Let's expand our mind to how much the intuition knows and how much it can help you. Okay? When I tell you your intuition knows which sandwich is going to taste better and which one will be better for you before you make the decision on which sandwich to buy, I can tell you that that's a fact. And it's not until you develop a close-knit relationship with your intuition that you realize how helpful and how much your intuition knows before you experience the thing. It knows which sandwich you should buy. Your intuition knows what you should be doing during the day. Your intuition knows what outfit will make you feel better. Your intuition knows which meal will give you more energy. It knows. How does it know? I don't know. God has just given us this insane gift. And it's more insane than we can ever realize until we have this connection with it. And we're like, wow, my intuition was right on this tiny, tiny thing that I could have spent hours analyzing to try and decide. But instead, because I have this close-knit relationship with my intuition, it took 2 seconds. So I need you to get that in your head. That your intuition already knows the answer to that tiny little thing or major thing that you are being indecisive about. It knows. I promise you that. Okay? Now, here comes the training part, okay? We can't click our fingers and hear our intuition instantaneously if we have never spent time hearing it before. Why? Because the intuition is a friend. And if you have a friend who you ignore, who always tries to help you, but you push to the side, you don't listen to, and you never engage with, will that friend speak to you? No. Now, when we think of it like this, we have to realize if we've been ignoring this friend, our intuition, if we've been pushing them to the side and we haven't been listening to them, then it takes time to regain that friendship because you neglected the friend. And it needs time to gain your trust again that you will listen this time. And you will pay attention, and you will reciprocate by listening and applying what the friend is saying, okay? So with your intuition, if you have been pushing it down for a very long time, the further it is away from you. When you start listening to it again, it starts to show up. When you start listening, and when you start being a friend to your intuition again, how do you do that? By listening and applying. If you get that gut feeling and you push it to the side, you're ignoring the friend, you're neglecting the friend again. You get the gut feeling and you listen, then the friend, your intuition is like, okay, they respect me. They want to hear what I have to say. When you start doing that, you're going to be like, wow, it's like a snowball effect. You know, the first few decisions, you're going to be like, okay, I don't hear my intuition. It's not happening for me. I don't have that gut feeling. You're kind of getting discouraged. But then suddenly you start to hear it. And it has that snowball effect, like I said, and you start to hear it more and more and more. And the more you listen to it, the more it's going to show up for you in those tiny little decisions. In figuring out which sandwich to get. I'm being so serious when I say that. Those really tiny decisions. And of course the big ones as well. But don't be discouraged if you can't hear it at first. So the number one way to hear the intuition is to be open to hearing it. And when you get that gut feeling, you listen and you apply. You take what it says. You don't ignore it. You don't push it down. You do what it says, even if it seems ridiculous in the moment. Now, what is the difference between intuition and, let's say, just your regular thoughts and your logical brain? Your logical brain. The difference is it's a feeling. And it's a feeling you don't understand until you become familiar with it. And I think it feels different for everybody. I have this kind of insane thing with my intuition, and I don't know if anybody can relate, but I have a very specific feeling. It's very strange. I think the feeling is different for everybody. So the feeling for me is I get it in my gut, of course. I get it in my gut if it's a no. I get it in my throat if it's a yes. I don't know why. I cannot tell you why. This has just been developed the past, I would say, month. Before it was always just gut feeling, but now it's like gut, no, throat, yes. I literally don't know why. So that's why I believe it kind of feels different for everybody, but for the most part, you will feel the feeling in your gut. And secondly, it will feel light. If it's logical and it's in your head, you're going to feel it in your head. You can feel the sensation in your head if you are analyzing and trying to figure out and doing what's logically right, which comes from your masculine energy. And your masculine energy is neck up. It's a sensation. Masculine energy is not a sensation, but when you're in your masculine energy, you feel the sensation of it in your head. When you are listening to your intuition, you feel it in your gut. And not only that, unless you're like me and you somehow, for some strange reason, feel it in your throat at times, I don't know why, but it's a gift because it's really specific then. I get answers very specifically. Anyways, the second component to this is you feel it in your body, you feel it in your gut, and then you feel light, okay? If you can't feel the feeling in your gut, this is what you need to do. You ask yourself the question, whatever you're being indecisive about, should I do X or should I do Z? You ask yourself the question and you think about X, and you think and you close your eyes and you feel into your body, take a deep breath, and you think, or you recognize, how it feels in the body. Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? And if you don't know, then think about Z. Breathe into it, feel the feeling. Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? Compare both of them. One of them will feel light. The one that feels light in the body is the body's way of telling you that that's the right answer. Another thing I wanted to mention, I just remembered, just to prove the point even more of how insanely intelligent and for some reason how supernatural our intuition is there was something I read in a book, I can't tell you the name of the book, that blew my mind. Okay? And it just shows the extent of how much our intuition knows. There was a girl who was traumatized from a car accident. And she was on a road trip. And she was fast asleep. And suddenly she woke up in a panic. And she looked where she was, and she was the exact place that she had the crash. So her intuition, that supernatural side of us that is gifted to us, that part of her showed her, okay, you're at the place again. And the body will do that for our benefit. The body will, this is a whole other topic for another day, but the body will allow your triggers to come up so that you can heal from them, and almost at times attract the same triggers so that we can heal from them. Like I said, video for another day, but that shows you the extent. It shows you the extent. She was fast asleep. She didn't know, in her logical brain, she couldn't see outside her window where she was, but the body, the intuition, knew where she was while she was asleep. And like I said, if you don't believe it for yourself, test this and you will start to see the snowball effect of how insane the intuition is and how much it knows. So next time you're indecisive, you need to start listening to the body and stop listening to your head. Your head is going to get you into a spiral. It's going to put you into brain fog. It's going to fatigue you because your head is just trying to analyze what's the right thing, what's the right thing, what's the right thing. But the thing is you can make all of the right logical decisions all you want all day, every day, and you spend hours of your day analyzing and trying to figure it out for yourself. But your intuition could give you an answer that's so polar opposite to what you would have originally thought, but would have put you on the highest and best path of your life. Okay, even for the small things. You know, your logical head could say, go to the gym at 9 a.m., but suddenly your intuition says, no, go at 10 a.m. What happens when you go at 10 a.m.? You meet the love of your life. Okay, you meet your next business partner. Something could happen that would have never happened if you had just listened to your logical head. Life gets so much better when we start listening to the intuition. Our time gets so much more preserved when we start listening more to our intuition. And there will be times where we can't fully hear the intuition. That's okay. It goes up and down. It can change based on how we're doing mentally. It can change if how we're doing physically. It can change at times. But for the most part, if we regain that relationship, those moments that usually paralyze you with indecisiveness, when you switch it and you say, I'm going to listen to my body this time. I'm going to see if it feels light. I'm going to see what my gut says. That's how you overcome the indecisiveness, and you train yourself to do it. You train it like it's a sport, and it becomes easier. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say. It's a pretty profound thing, and I really want you to experience it for yourself. I remember when I had heard it, I heard this advice from somebody before, I don't know how many years ago. It felt kind of like BS, to be honest. And then I started living it and experiencing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's not. It's not at all. You're going to see the magic that can happen when you start listening to your intuition. You're going to see the circumstances that unfold. You're going to see how the strangest things your intuition told you to do that you would have never done otherwise brought you to the most perfect place you could have never expected. People around you will start telling you that you're really lucky, and people around you will say to you, why do things work out so well for you? How did you unfold this beautiful situation that seems so unrealistic? And you can tell them, or you can keep it to yourself, that you have this relationship with your intuition, and it knows things that you don't know in your mind, and it knows things that other people don't know to bring you to the best place. And it's a really fantastic thing. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Please apply this if you struggle with indecisiveness, please. And let me know if you have any experiences that make you just step back and be like, wow, that could have never happened if I'd listened to my head. I would love to know. All right. Thank you very much for watching. If you're on YouTube, my coaching information is down below. If you're on Spotify, it is on my website, which is in the description. And I will see you guys next time in the next podcast. Bye, guys.